Okay, welcome to the GTL's 4th annual Bathurst charity race. We're excited to bring you this one here, and you can see on the screen all the great charities that all the drivers are contributing to. You can get on board and also donate as well. We'll try and get some links throughout the night, but joining me tonight is the wonderful Petey. Welcome, Petey.
Thanks, Woody. Very glad to be here. Really excited for this. It's going to be a lot of fun and really well put together events by the GTL guys.
Yeah, it sure is, and we can just see here the charity event, as it always is at Mount Panorama. So exciting. We're back to the original, well, not the original, the current layout. Last year we had the old layout right down Conrod without the chase, and this year we've got the chase back, and as you can see, it's the King of the Mountain, and we're going to have a 90-minute race. We're just into the warm-up at this stage, so we're going to go into the action very shortly. They'll have a formation lap for a rolling start, and it's a 6 a.m. start there, Petey, so it should be just as the sun's rising up, I'd say.
It should be beautiful.
Yeah, with 5 times time progression, so it should go right through to the early afternoon. 6 track cuts is pretty generous for the drivers, so hopefully we won't see any drive-throughs for people cutting the chase, but you never know what sort of shenanigans that they might get up to here at GTL, so we'll keep posted on that one. And obviously the GTL safety car is up on run until the last 5 minutes.
It's nobody likes to see track cuts, so it's good to see that. And yeah, you're right. I think barring any multiple mishaps and adventures, we shouldn't see any of those. So should be good racing. Now, in saying that, both of these cars can be a bit of a handful, so there could be plenty of adventures, I'd imagine.
Oh, most definitely. We've got the minis here versus the hot car Fusca, I think it's called. So it's going to be interesting to see. There's a bit of a speed difference between the two makes, and it looks like there's roughly a good 10 seconds between the two makes of cars here.
Yeah, it's going to lead to some lapping, most likely, and I guess depending on the safety cars as to how spread out it'll get. Most likely very spread out and then potentially condensed again. But that should lead to some very exciting racing, even interclass as well. So very excited.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing if these minis, we believe that may need to pit for a few extra stops, the JCW minis, but this little mini of the hot car, we'll see how long they can go, but isn't this a great livery? SPCA by Cuckoo. So these are all charities that all the drivers have had to do donations for the entry.
Cuckoo said in the Discord that he was playing for the guilt trip and hoping people don't want to pass him because he's got a cute puppy on the back. And interesting play. We'll see how it goes. The front one's supposed to scare you and the back one's supposed to make you feel bad. So.
Yeah, well, they look like cat's eyes or something there at the front, and obviously it's like the RSPCA that we have here in Australia. So over in New Zealand, it's obviously a pet rescue organisation.
Definitely a worthy cause, absolutely, and a very, very cool skin. Yeah, so about 10 seconds a lap is what it's looking to be the difference, which is pretty huge. And I would say after driving the trickier car is the hot car, is the Fusca or the Fusca, whatever it is. We do have a reasonable amount of minis versus the hot car as well. So the hot car is feeling a little bit numbered, a little bit outnumbered in this one.
Yeah, sure does. But we'll see how they all go. I think the minis are expected, as I said earlier, to needing to pit. So we'll see what happens with that.
As we're just watching someone in the pit because I'm doing a bad job. Oi,
and that's Sheppo.
Slide in a very bad spot. Oh dear. He got a little bit stuck there. it is one of those funny things, you know, front-wheel drive car, common misconception from people who aren't racers is that they are quite understeery, but in actual fact, these front-wheel drive race cars are very prone to getting the tail out, particularly on lift-off and mid-corner. They go understeery when you're on throttle, and if you're not on throttle, they're very happy to turn around, particularly with a short wheelbase. So both cars share the similarity of a lift-off oversteer, because the Beetle has rear engine, and when you lift off, the weight wants to swing around, and the front-wheel drives, because there's no weight at the back, the car wants to rotate as well. So they're both very pointy as you come off the throttle into a corner.
Yeah, well, Sheppo's currently the man with the fastest time, so just trying to find those limits, and that's one reason why he always seems to be up on the top of these leaderboards. But he's pushed that little bit too hard. We'll see how the other drivers can manage in the practice here. Before we go into a 10-minute qualifying session, it's going to be a private session. So the drivers are going to be on this track all on their own, but we'll be able to pick up all the cars at the same time. So we'll keep everyone entertained to see where some of these drivers are. So if you're tuning in, let us know what drivers you are barracking for. And I think we've already got one there for the Breast Foundation. I think it's possibly one of the pink minis. Trying to think what the driver's name was. We'll try and find that for you guys.
I think possibly Movember he's rocking. No, that looks like a Movember I saw on the side of the
I think it is Mark, actually. Could be definitely Mark, or was Mark the testicle?
Possibly. No, yeah, okay. Possibly testicles.
I think it's a testicle cancer.
Based on the pictures we're seeing there, yes.
It's definitely his teammate. So whoever's Mark's teammate is who we'll find for Black Wildcats, who's barracking for some breast cancer support.
I did have that list. I'm going to see if I can pull that list back up so I can be informed. That would be the Baron. in the pink Beetle. Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Doesn't this come up pretty good here as well? So they haven't mucked around, these guys. They made sure these liveries, and they've got the pink foundation ribbon over the headlights as well, to just make sure that those the plastic lens doesn't break.
Yeah, I don't think you got any headlights on either of these cars, even though they look like they have some form of headlights on them. There was actually possibly late word. I don't know if it was called out earlier, but potentially some bribery that might see the Baron sneaking with a little advantage towards the start of the race. So we've had a bit of bribery. That could be one of them.
Yeah, could definitely be. I might try and see if I can actually get some of the bribery comment little posts that have been put up on in the GTL Discord throughout the event before we get into the race. Now, Wagon's obviously got his donation to the Aurora Hanoi. Is it Hospice?
I'm glad you had a go at that, because I was looking at it thinking, I'm not saying this. I have no idea how to pronounce that, and I'm sure all the Kiwis would look at me with disdain. But yes.
Yeah. So any Kiwis out there watching, please slowly pronounce how we should obviously pronounce this Aro Hanoi.
Aruhanui is my best guess, but it's probably wrong.
Yui, yeah.
Aruhanui?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually.
It's believable. It's probably wrong.
I'd almost mistaken you for a Kiwi there, Petey.
I don't reckon you did.
And Wagon's a driver that's actually been getting up some really good form lately as well with GTL. The more he's steering the cars in their Monday night series, the better he's becoming as a driver too. He's really pushing that top 5, top 6 on a regular basis as well.
He's
Just
definitely he's striving for improvement and working hard for it, which is all you can ask for, and he is improving. It's always bad when you're going backwards, but he's definitely not doing that. So the without pronouncing it again, his charity is all about hospice care for all sorts of people with different life-limiting conditions. So a very worthwhile cause.
yeah, and just as we wanted to know how to pronounce that, Tweaky's joined in as well, another GTL driver out there, and it is exactly how you pronounce it. It's Aro Hanui.
Is it Arrow? But yeah, very
Aro,
close.
Aro
Close enough.
Hanui.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Arrow Hanoi. There we go. Lovely. Thanks, Tweak. Tweak's the
Now,
one who's not in the race, unfortunately. Common contender, but obviously missed out on the registration with this one.
yeah, and Travis, obviously, I think this might be his second time supporting the Westpac helicopter as well. I think they do the New Zealand one and also possibly the Australian one, but I think this is for the New Zealand Westpac helicopter.
The Westpac helicopter. Who
Yeah,
was it?
live.
No Frills, who said he's actually a Westpac employee and believes that they do a great job with the rescue helicopter, which is always a good sign.
Yeah, definitely. So there we go. That's the end of practice. We'll be going into qualifying, I guess, very shortly now.
We may have an issue. I've just been disconnected from the session, and I'm hearing chat from a lot of guys that have possibly also been disconnected.
Okay, right at the end of the practice there, it looks like a few people have been leaving, but they may come back, so we'll just see what happens here.
Yeah, I've got the ear in the race command chat, so I'm just hearing this to see what's going to happen.
It looks like everyone's leaving the session, but we'll be back and we'll find out what's going on very shortly. I'll go back to our wonderful donations that we will be seeing all on your screens tonight. And we'll be back shortly once we sort this out.
Absolutely.
All right, welcome back. We've almost got our things going for the race, but while we wait, I am going to bring up some of these scandals we were just talking about earlier. So here's one of the ones. This is basically what's happened here is the GTL have brought out that there was this big thing in the news just recently. The pay-to-win scandal has rocked GTL. And if you can't read that, I'll go right through it. So pay-to-win scandal. GTL headquarters has erupted into chaos only 5 days ahead of its flagship Bathurst charity event, as GTL reporters have uncovered a pay-to-win scheme. GTL reports have discovered that drivers can and are in fact encouraging to buy top qualifying positions for the 4th Bathurst charity event. GTL bosses were quick to dismiss allegations of corruption and dirty dealings by saying all the money was for charity and that drivers were able to pay their own represented charities directly. However, the stench of deceit hangs as heavily as race fuel over the Bathurst pit lane. GTL is expected to release an official statement later today, basically explaining that the top 5 qualifying positions, including pole position for both classes, were up for sale. GTL reporters will keep you up to date as this story of misconduct unfolds. And we expect heads to roll at GTL headquarters. What do you think about that, Petey? That was something that rocked us late last week, actually. So we don't know if anything has changed hands yet, or those paper bags.
Well, yeah, I believe this was actually somewhat of one of the racer's ideas, possibly Shepo, that the GTL admin were happy to run with. It's all for a good cause. It's all money towards charities. And I believe indeed there was some money that changed hands. Not to anybody in the admin, but the admin was swayed by the generosity of some of the racers.
Yeah, wow. So it's obviously rocking the grid. And we have got a big grid of 20 plus drivers. I think we're close to, 26 drivers probably on the grid, if not a few more. So that corruption could well and truly be filling the coffers pockets. But as we say, it will be going to charity. So we'll see what happens there. But there has been this one here that came out during the week as well about the sabotage in pit lane. Did you hear about that one, Petey?
I did, and this is quite a big one, to be honest. I believe it's at least 2 drivers whose tyres are going to be swapped to wet tyres at the start of a dry race.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? So we're not too sure of the drivers, but I believe that one of them may be Shepo, who we did see was the fastest man there in practice. I'm not too sure if my sources are correct, but that could be one driver that may be finding that he's locked up to tight with wet tyres attached to his car.
It's and that will in the Mini. It was I did a little bit of testing, and it was very harsh on tyre temperatures. I can't imagine that you will get more than a few laps on wet tyres without coming straight back into the pits and costing you quite a bit of time to get back onto the real tyre.
Yeah, definitely. And the last one before we go into the action here was obviously there's the breaking news in the breaking at Pit Row, well-known time trial show-off Esky Man. He's got all the gadgets that's known to man in sim racing, hasn't he, Petey? We're talking crew chief, sim hub, anything else you can think of. Any little fuel apps that he may have to always eke out that last little bit of fuel in these endurance type races. So it's been told that there's been a substantial payment to a charity to make sure that Esky Man can only use a single bit of HUD in the in-game HUD, which I think was just a speedo only.
I reckon if you ask Esky, he's never used any other tool in his life and he only uses the fuel gauge. But we're going to find out if that's the truth on this one because, yeah, he is a renowned fuel saver. And now he has none of that help from any of those pesky apps to tell him how much fuel to the end and how much fuel to save. So it'll be very interesting to see if he can still manage to become the fuel master without the help of the tools that I reckon he says he doesn't use.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into the gameplay now as we got everything now seems to be rolling. We might just have to get some HUD overlays are working again on our end. So we've got our map up and our standings, which will help us now. So we should be good to go. And we're looking at Pixel Boy here at this stage.
Yep, sorry, was a little slow on the overlays, but we've got them. Pixel Boy and Trui racing for Bowel Cancer Australia, one of the silent killers, a very worthwhile cause, and a very cool looking purple Mini he's rocking there. I love the headlights. They're looking very angry.
They are looking very angry indeed. So hopefully we've got some of our audio sorted too. We did say that some of our levels were down. We did turn the game volume down a little bit, so hopefully that's a little bit better now. And you can obviously hear Petey's voice as well, that I'm not too loud. But if I'm too loud, please let us know and I can turn my volume down a little bit more.
I think Pix just clipped the wall there on his warm-up lap, which is not a great sign. I don't know if that was a bit of lag, but he's showing a bit of damage. And I think he, oh, I should know the corner names. I think he came out of that last corner onto the straight and hit the corner on the exit, hit the wall on the exit.
Yeah, the Forest elbow.
You think I know the corner names?
Yeah, he's definitely got a little bit of damage there, can't you? You can see the evidence of the mark down the right-hand side of the car.
Yeah, well, he's only opening his lap now. That was just the lap out of the pits. So he's going to want to try and get a cleaner lap this time. With 7 minutes, I'll tell you what, they're only going to get a couple of laps in here after the warm-up. I'm sure we've got a lot of people on flyers. Let's switch over to a Beetle who, yeah, naturally, I guess they're a bit slower. He hasn't even started his flying lap. This is Norbs in the Fusca.
Unfortunately, too, we don't, because it's private qualifying, we can't see all the cars out on the track, too, on the map, so we're not too sure amount of the drivers that are out, so we're assuming everyone is out, but as you said, Norb's here for Black Dog Institute.
Listen to that little Beetle scream. I think it's got a red line of around 7, but it keeps going to about 8.5. It doesn't make a lot of power there, but it'll keep going, and you hear it scream occasionally if somebody's downshifting very keenly or running it quite high between the corners. But yeah, no, we don't know the positions of cars, and obviously all zeros on the timing board, so nobody's completed a flying lap yet. We wouldn't expect one of those probably for another minute or so. So we might just flick through a few people that we possibly haven't watched yet.
Yeah, definitely. Kiz, big supporter of this charity event too. I think that he may be, this might be his third, I'm not too sure. He might have been in all 4 as well. So he's doing it for the Brain Foundation. And he's in the JCW, the John Cooper Works Mini, which, as we said, it looks like the car that's going to possibly take out this race, this 90-minute race. But it's not a full-blown conclusion though, because I think these cars haven't got the fuel like the other cars, plus they chew them up a lot more because they're obviously running a lot harder.
Yeah, I do wonder how the tyres are going to last as well as the fuel. The Minis are very hard on tyres in the small amount of testing I did, both on temperature and wear. Doesn't take a lot to push a bit of understeer and wear those fronts down, which on the Mini is where all of the traction is. The back end of the car is just there to keep you straight. The front end of the car does all the accelerating, all the braking and all the turning, and takes quite a load for the entire race. So I think they may even go for a tyre swap, depending on how they're wearing out.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see how that unfolds as Rusty Jakes has obviously put a time in already. These are the 2:16s, which we did see in the practice session. We saw some 2:16s by Sheppo. So, as Kiz just doesn't get the chase right. And he's going to have to go. Well, it is really. He's going to probably get enough to go around just. And then, well, he should be able to go around for his outlap and get another time lap in, but it's going to be close for him.
Yeah, very close. He'll get at least 1 lap in. Yeah, so if it's a 2 in the Mini, it looks like it's at least a 2:20 lap to get around, plus a lap to get done. So before the timer hits 0, if they cross the line, they can finish the lap. So once you get the 2:20 mark, that's when it could be getting questionable. For these Beetles, it's closer to 2:40, it looks like, for a warm-up lap. So they've only got 1 minute to start a warm-up lap to get 1 more lap in. There's not a lot in it. 1 or 2 laps flying is what we're going to be looking at here for most guys. and a few quick times coming from the hot car, including Esky, who's running that the sabotage with his fuel. So he looks like he might be positioning himself well in the Hut Street Centre livery, which looks awesome in that orange. Tell you what, the Jagerbomb team.
Yeah, you could actually say that is definitely looking like a Jagerbomb car, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's and the Hut Street Centre is for helping end homelessness for every person that walks through their doors. Very worthy cause, providing food and I believe shelter. But yeah, help in need for people with no place to call home. Oh my Lord, as Esky absolutely hangs it out and into the wall.
Oh man, I think he was trying to do the Repco stunt team justice there, but just didn't quite get to hold it. Yeah, I think actually one of the guys actually at Bathurst, didn't he? He did hit the wall or something in that those drifting cars in the week of October during the Bathurst.
Oh, did they in the demonstration? I didn't see that. That would have been pretty wild there.
Now,
it's a tough track to be driving when you're racing it, let alone drifting it. So.
There's going to pick up here. Kuku was on his fastest sector there out of split 2. So this final sector, let's see if he can continue it on and see if he can move up the order. We're only going to see the top 16 roughly on our totem pole here in the stream.
Yeah, we've got Esky in the pits now, and his game over. He won't get around for another lap. And if Kuku's on a flyer here, he's got to find 8/10. So I don't know if he's going to do that, but he's got a chance.
Yeah, we'll see where he's currently 18th, isn't he, on the list?
I think Gunner's just pipped him. He's popped back into 19th. So he actually needs to find 3/10 to get back in front of Gunner. Oh, he's done close. It, but not enough to get Esky. That is very close.
So what Sheppo got for us, currently second, only just a smidge away from pole position.
He's pushing it.
We should see a Delta shortly. Oh, we'll probably just missed the Delta there.
He's not leaving anything on the track. He's had a couple of brushes with the wall. He's definitely sending it. Both him and Rusty potentially with the... Oh no, he's pushed it too hard.
We'll just see if he's been able to continue this on though, because we should get a Delta here and see what he's got here. I think he's actually, he's aborted that lap, but we've also got Itonji that's doing a good job too, as we're just having a quick look now. And Itonji's doing it for autism awareness.
Absolutely awesome looking livery, to be honest. I'm loving that purple and orange.
Now he's going to be able to do another lap if he's got enough fuel too, and he hasn't burned his tyres, so he wasn't quite fast enough there. About 0.3 off his best time, so he's put it straight into Hell's Corners gravel trap.
So if you hadn't crossed the line now, this is the last lap. We don't really know who's on a flyer currently, which is unfortunate, but Skolpane about to bring this one home, who's also not that far away, half a second from Rusty, which is probably an eternity when you're trying to chase down Rusty, but you never know, he might have something in the upper sleeve here.
Yeah, definitely, and what a fitting livery to have here in November for Movember Foundation as well.
Grow a Mo, save a bro.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're going to start growing a Mo, get to Movember and register that, and people can obviously support you with your Mo growing adventures in November.
Oh, Mark also pushing it very deep there. Very easy to run wide with this many. If you're on the... Oh, no. And yep, that's very wide.
Many cars do that too. This is a good look livery here of Viper on.
Supporting the Beyond Blue Foundation for mental health, which we've got a few different charities representing mental health, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely. The more you can get word out there and speak to a mate, the better as well. is Friendly Garlic. Well, I'm glad that you made Skull Pain's livery. It's pretty cool, the Movember. So obviously we'll try and see if we can see a little bit more of that during the race. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, it looked awesome. That was a very cool livery. Unfortunate end to that one, but we might. This is probably going to be one of the last guys across the line. I don't have any evidence of that, but just going by the gut feeling. So Hyperion bringing it home. He needs to find 4/10 just to gain a position on Wagon here, which would be quite the advancement. I don't know where he's at. He's got it in him. Oh, Lordy, does he what? He's pushed himself right up into 9th.
Yeah, nice
still got
job.
Somebody running. Don't know who.
Well, we've got some disco cars going in pit lane.
we do indeed.
All right, so I've just increased our audio up just a little bit for the viewers, so hopefully that is going to be good for the race.
Wonderful.
Now here's the order. Rusty takes out pole position, only by a smidgen over Sheppo. Tonji, awesome job by himself as well. And Skull Pain in that Movember car in 4th position. On the 3rd row, we've got No Frills and Gambit. That should be interesting to see how those two fare. And not too far away is Travis Moan in that Westpac helicopter. Hopefully he might get a bit of knowledge from the helicopter above too, avoiding any incidents throughout this opening couple of laps. So I reckon the pace is going to be hot out there, with a bloody 9 doing it as well for, I think it's Youth on the Streets, I think. Chris Riley, or something, or Father Riley, something like that. And Vic
Youth
Ryan.
on the Streets.
And Mark, I think that's one of the favourites at the moment in the top 10 for breast awareness. So that's going to see a little bit of coverage, I think, tonight. And Kiz, and then Wagon rounds out the 12. So they're all the minis. We might be able to scroll down the screen here. I can do that now. And we can see now that we start finding all our hot cars. So let's go through the list of the hot cars. We've got Esky Man on pole position, with Cuckoo in 2nd. Gunner made 3rd position. Rangy Rover, we didn't see him. He's secretly got there in 4th position. Baron B in 5th. Mika the Kid in 6th. Welcome to Mika on the grid. Norbs 7th. Bales finished in 8th. Left 9th. And Truey found it a bit tough out there in 10th position. That's 27 cars out on the grid there, Petey.
That is a hell of a grid. Whole bunch of charities. Whole bunch of people donating a bunch of money. I don't have an official number. I don't know if you've got an official number. Stu was alluding to something in the realms of $5,000 for the entire group, which is amazing. From a community racing league, that is a huge effort from everybody. So I think a pat on the back from everybody, but it's not over. And I believe you'll be putting some links in the chat, so potentially people can put some donations into their favourite cars as we go.
Yeah, most definitely. We'll see how that goes there. Otherwise, obviously, the charities that we post up that you see on those liveries, make sure you could obviously search as well and do a donation as well. And in a comment, make sure you hit up that it was from a sim racing, GTL Bathurst charity event. And then that way there, they will know that it's come from this event as well. So if you've got the opportunity to put a reason for that donation, just mentioning GTL charity event would be awesome.
Absolutely. And everybody's doing it for the love. We're all here for the fun, and we're all here to help raise awareness and money for charities. So awesome intentions from everybody all around, and we really appreciate it, I'm sure, by all these charities.
So I guess at this stage, they're just going to have a little break at the just get themselves organised before they get into this 90-minute race. So we'll just quickly bring that back up, that information there.
In the race chat, I've just confirmed we are kicking straight over, but we'll still have about a minute countdown probably while people ready up and make sure their strategies are correct.
Yeah, definitely. So we're here at Bathurst, wonderful track here in Australia. We've got 23 turns, 6.2 kilometres in length. a beautiful track. We've got a great big climb up the mountain in the first sector, then we reach the top, and then we come down the back half of sector 2 and then down the fast Conrod straight before we hit the chase to find if the brakes are still working when you hit Murray's Corner at the end before we get onto Pitt Straight. As you can see though, it's a 90-minute race tonight. We're going to have a formation lap with a rolling start. You've got 6 track cuts available to the drivers. And as we said earlier at the opening of the broadcast, we don't know if these drivers will try and manipulate that track cut through the chicane or what they might through the chase. We don't know. But I'll tell you, it would be a wild ride trying to do that. But some drivers may try and benefit from that if they can. And we do have that GTL safety car up until the last 5 minutes remaining of the race. As we can see, the clear weather's on offer. So we're in for a cracker of a race.
Absolutely. I'd be surprised if we see anybody going for the cheeky cut. I would not be surprised at all to see a few people hanging on to it and just managing to keep it in line and staying on the track. Both of these cars have a tendency to bite you if you're not particularly careful. So hell of a grid we got here, going all the way back up to the pit entry.
That is unbelievable. It's been a long time since we've seen something like that. But as we said, this is just a formation lap, so they will get themselves going. And let's see if there's any craziness is happening for any of these drivers from what we were talking about earlier. And look, we have got some people being promoted already. So the scandal, and who have we got coming up at the front here? Travis Moan. Looks like the bloody 9, and Atonji's still got his 3rd position.
Yep.
So what we believe, if we got it correct, Petey, that these drivers that have seen themselves promoted up in front of the grid donated a certain amount, and the top amount that donated extra money to try and creep up the grid. GTL may have just turned a blind eye and let the stewards know, well, you know, this is what's going to happen. So it looks like some money for the Westpac helicopter has put Travis Moan in pole position for tonight.
It does appear that way. Yeah, I've got one ear to the race control chat who were told to wave through Travis, TB9 and Atonji. I think we also had Bales in the Frisca getting pushed to the front of that grid. Possibly Truey as well.
Oh yeah, for the
even left.
Because we did have Cuckoo was second there, wasn't he? So yeah, there has been a change in the hot cars as well.
There has. I think we actually also have potentially the Baron is getting a bit of a wave by as well. I think if we stick on him, we might notice that he's about to drive straight past everybody and get the most overtakes of anyone in one lap.
Oh, okay. This is going to be good for his stats.
Absolutely. A big mover.
Movers and shakers.
I think
Here
he's
we got him
getting through the entire grid.
So he looks like, yeah, because he's now in front of the JCWs and he keeps going. And it looks like he's got confirmation now and he's absolutely, okay, this is us. We're going. Boobs to the front.
I think it's boobs to the front. I think he's going the whole way.
And don't you love these charity events? He's definitely in that hot seat, Petey, isn't he?
Absolutely. Right. That's Baron in the lead of this race on the first lap. Was that on your bingo card?
It was definitely not on my bingo card, but I'll tell you what, I hope I have a scratch and sniff card as well, because that'll be a little bit different as well. So, but here we go.
Oh no, we've had a disconnect. I believe Stu has actually dropped out of this race.
Oh no, so he's got Max Power as his only teammate there, still around.
I feel he may have actually had an internet dropout, which is also a bit of a drama because he was calling as the race director here. So we've got a bit of a scramble to make sure that we're all in order for the race start.
I'm sure he can watch our stream and still do the race control. So we'll wait to see if we do get the most talented Stu in the commentary booth as well after he cools down from that disconnect.
That would be wonderful. A keen eye might have noticed that Barron has made a break for it. He's out of here.
He said, "Bugger this, I'm going." You want to
He's
put me up
going.
front?
He's not waiting around.
I've seen the green lights, he says. Yeah, they're still holding.
The grid is still forming, and the Baron is out of here. I believe that could be part of the dodgy money changing hands that we saw. So the Baron is about to cross the line in P1 on lap 1 with about a 20-second gap back. These guys, they're still setting up.
Yeah, they're still coming through the chase. So they're still waiting for the actual flag. I reckon the flag man here at the start of the race is very confused, but hey, they're going to let this pink car go through. They can't change that now. It's got the 1 to its name.
The boobs are out in front. Everybody else is lining up. We're about to get the green flag as these guys come onto the main straight.
Now let's see how the nerves are for these drivers now. Waiting. And it looks like the throttles are now, the revs are up, and here we go. Look at the sight here down this main straight of Mount Panorama as they swing into Hell's Corner. Will they get through? And that looks like they're all funneling out through here, Petey.
It's very close in that mid-pack. We went 3 wide through turn 1, but they've managed to keep it together. No collisions, which is awesome. Clean racing, no safety car, and we're away.
Yeah, 2 wide up Mountain Straight here as they climb now up through the... oh, it's not the cut in there, sorry.
I gave you the curse of the corner names.
That's Griffin's Bend that we also had a mental blank, but now through the cut in. It's a very steep climb. If you ever walk the track, it's very steep around the cut in. And just a horde of minis and hot cars, and there's a whole lot of cars coming through here. You can just see how the JCW minis have just absolutely bolted away from the Fusca hot cars.
Absolutely. Look at them. They're pushing hard here. We got...
Nice move.
Was that...
I think that was Gambit. Yeah, down the inside. And he's absolutely flying at the start here. Wonder if he was out of position, but he's at St John's ambulance, so he knows he's got all the kit in that car to patch any wounds.
I think he needs it for the front end of the Mini at the moment. It's looking a little worse for wear. Looks a little bit stunned. Somebody who's not in the trouble though. Absolutely miles away.
Definitely. Barron absolutely killing it. But look at the two, the second and third and fourth. I think they're fairly close together, and we'll see how long. It won't take them too long, I don't think, to catch up to Barron. As Atonji.
Yeah, the top 3 minis very tight together here with Travis, TV9 and Atonji. Travis feeling the pressure.
Yeah, this is pretty much what we would have seen in qualifying if we could see the live gap too. There was nothing in between these 3 drivers, so this is going to be race on all the way, and it looks like the 9 has got a nice little toe, and we have got, I think it's Mika rejoining. So I think that's the new ghosting when you press the reset button. So he was off in the gravel and chose to hit the reset button. And it just avoids other cars crashing into a car that's been reset back on track. But have a look at this, Atonji. I I don't think that bloody 9 got the move done on Travis, but he's still now got to fend off from Itonji.
What a battle. These guys, at the beginning of an Enduro here, absolutely sending it.
Oh, he almost lost a mirror.
Absolutely. Pushing the limits. That's a quali lap. Pushing it like that through there.
As Stu has just confirmed that there was a lot of money being handed around for Barron to take that pole position. They're all vying for him to have a podium, but what a great start he's had. But he's going to have these guys breathing down his neck, probably not maybe the next lap or the following lap after that.
Yeah, look, he's got a great chance of a podium on the hot car, if nothing else at this point. Sure, these minis are a lot quicker, but he is still 46 seconds away from the next hot car. So everything to play for Barron in class. I don't think you could expect him. Maybe with the minis pit stop, we're yet to see how that plays out. But like for like, Barron is well and truly in it.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry about the leaderboard or the totem pole. If I don't get into the game and actually physically move my mouse around, we lose some of the cars' positions. But there we go, Barron B definitely still leading this race, and Cuckoo is the next best in those hot cars in 16th position.
It looks like absolute clear road in front of Cuckoo. Those minis have disappeared. And he's holding a reasonable gap there to Esky. Now, just coming back to, we had the sabotage of the tyres. We actually kind of missed it in all the drama, but we've got Rusty Jakes and the minis sitting well out of position behind all the hot cars, as is Sheppo. I suspect they've had to make a pit stop.
Yeah, well, we didn't actually see that, but that's a good call. So obviously there was that sabotage with the lock wheel nuts with the wet tyres. So they got on there after qualifying with the, what do they call it when they can't touch the cars anymore?
Parc Ferme.
Parc Ferme. So the Parc Ferme signs got put on just after, I'd say, some of these crews sneakily got in there and whacked those wet tyres on and probably put some Loctite around the threads. So yeah, they struggled to get those tyres off in pit lane too, but we'll see comeback drive from Rusty and Sheppo, I'm sure.
I mean, look, they're pushing through these hot cars like they're parked at the Woolies car park, to be honest, at the moment. That pace difference is huge between these two vehicles, and nearly so much that they've got to be careful not to run in the back of them. So they're going to clear the hot cars reasonably quick, but it's a long way back up the road to currently Max Power would be the next mini from them. Still about 20-ish seconds away from Rusty, so a lot of work to do. Meanwhile, we've got some battles pushing up the field. Man, the top three is still very tight, and we've got Kiz and Skullpain in a bit of a battle with. Is it Valkyrian?
I think it's Kiz, isn't it?
Baron. Oh, these guys are.
Oh,
Right
look,
on the
Kiz
back
has
of
got to
Baron
run.
and on the back of each other.
This is going to be very interesting to see if Kiz is going to try and duck out at the chase here. Wouldn't it be fun if we could see that Mo start flapping around at the front? That would be pretty cool, blowing in the wind. This was livery done by Friendly Garlic. Oh, and we've had a spin by Bales.
Oh no, at the skyline. Hopefully he hasn't done any damage. If the worst it's cost him is a bit of time. Oh, nearly getting stuck in the sand, spinning it around, but he's going again.
Yeah, and as Mika the Kid just comes around. So Mika the Kid also, we saw earlier, have a spin as well. So these two drivers, you can see how much they've lost by just having a spin. So yeah, plenty of time lost trying to recover these cars.
I think Bale's car might have some damage on the rear right there. It looks like it might be crab walking around a little bit. A little hard to tell, but
yeah, it's definitely pushed in there, that right rear, isn't it?
Yeah, if he's got a pit for damage, that's going to be disastrous for him. So what have we got? So actually, there's been movement up the front here. Tonji's dropped behind No Frills, and TV9 and Travis have actually pulled quite a gap here. So we might have had a mistake from Tonji there. We must have missed some action, but meanwhile, TV9 very much keeping Travis honest at the moment.
Yeah, doing it good for Father Chris Riley's youth off the streets. Nice livery as well. Done nice. I like how they've got the blend of the purple to the white as well. It looks really nice.
It is a very talented artist that's done that. And the Youth Off the Streets is all about supporting and empowering young people, providing safety and support and education for people potentially.
Oh, here we go. There's a change for the lead.
Oh, no.
So that brings the bloody 9 now takes the lead, and he's going to have to try and get this done quickly because he's got a train of cars coming now. He's going to have to wait, Travis. Have to try and see if he can spin this around. Try and jump onto the back of this train, and he's been able to rejoin very nicely there.
That's thanks to the crazy steering lock for a racing car there that he was able to swing that back around there, which was fortunate.
Look at the
I missed what happened. Did he oversteer or?
Yeah, no, just a bit of oversteer. Lost it. Lost the rear end on exit, and that was all she wrote. But we've got the bloody 9 now in the lead of the race, and no frills, just coming onto pit straight there. But looking at Travis Moan, and is this a unicorn just defending? I think from, or is he having a go? The unicorn having a go on Gambit.
I'm not entirely sure who's fighting back on who here, but it's definitely very close. And now Travis, ready to fight his way back, is on the back of this group. We just had some calls from the race chat, which they probably need to focus more on racing, but they're suggesting getting Stu in the commentary, and somebody offered $100. I think it was Rangy.
Well, there you go. The call is out for Stu to come into the commentary for a donation to one of these charities. And Rangy, if he's the man that mentioned that, let's have a look to see what charity that Rangy is supporting. And that is...
as he's going down the inside, lovely move, Rangy.
And again, that's for Chris Riley as well, youth off the streets. So let's see if we find the Stu come into commentary, and we'll have to confirm who might be a higher bidder. So
just a update on just an update on Barron. Barron's still holding a 40-second gap to Cuckoo in the hot car. So he has been passed by a lot of minis, but a very strong gap and holding strong. No mistakes from Barron so far, it looks like, even though he's getting absolutely harassed by these minis, although soon to be less, as Sheppo is catching him at an awkward moment. Very well handled by both those guys there. Easy to lose the Beetle in that section of track.
Yeah, definitely. So if you're looking at the track map on the top right, you'll see that number 17 is obviously Barron that we're looking at right now. And position 18 is second in that class, which I believe is still Cuckoo. So he's got all of the second sector lead from the car in second. So it's a good place to be for Barron. He's just got to keep it cool as Atonji's into the pit. So this is where he might have got damage. So he's in early, out of position 9. Oh, I think it was position 4 at the time. And it does. That front looks very damaged, doesn't it, Petey?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's in good shape. Hard to know if by the animations what's happening at the moment. But it looks like quite a lengthy pit stop too, so I'd suspect possibly damage getting repaired there, which is going to pop him right down. I think we've actually got Rusty and Sheppo going past him now, so after their initial pit stop they've managed to make a position. Unfortunately, Atonje is paying the price for a possible mistake there, I think, and he's away.
Yep. So that'll be superficial now that we're seeing on our screens.
Yep.
And Baron B has got in front of him again.
He has indeed. I suspect with that the car's pace difference, it won't be for too much longer. But there's a chance. Look, we don't know the fuel numbers, so there's a chance that Tonje is actually going to make it to the end on fuel from here, and that's his one and only pit stop. That's going to be his saving grace if that's the case. I don't know. If he's got to pit again, he's in a world of hurt from this one. So we can hope for Tonje's sake that he can make that his one and only pit stop.
This is looking good. This battle's been going all from the green flag, this one, Petey, between the Unicorn and Gambit. Throwing Pixel Boy now. This is very interesting.
That's very close. I'd be surprised if we're not seeing a move by the end of this straight, because the drag efficiency being that close. The question is, do you pull it out early? Do you wait for the late brake manoeuvre? He's nearly going to give him a bump draft at this rate, and he'll probably swing out to the left in the braking. Oh, the defensive line from the Unicorn. They're definitely, this is quite an intense battle.
It sure is. Just looking back there at the Gambit, is again still doing it for St John's Ambulance, but we're also looking just behind him, Pixel Boy, and will pick up his charity of choice as well, which is again, which we said earlier, was the Bowel Cancer of Australia. Very worthy cause.
Oh, Stu's given us the intel here saying 80 litres for the race without a safety car. It's a 44 litre tank on the Mini. So based on 20 minutes being passed, there's just probably no chance Atonje is making to the end on that fuel. So that's really bad news for Atonje. Big lunge from Pix. No, he wasn't close enough. He had a look. He's trying to make Gambit question it. And up the road, we've also got a pretty close between Viperion and Smithy.
Yeah, I was just saying that there was a bumper laid at the exit of the cut-in as well. So something's happened there.
A piece of a car that from somewhere we haven't seen yet, a missing bumper.
No, we might pick that up a bit later, but we got also Smithy. I think we had that for the Wayside Chapel, but looking back up the front, we've got Smithy here. Trying to see if he can stay with Viperon. He's got a nice 6-second margin over the battle that we've been watching before with the Unicorn, Gambit and Pixel. Possibly just managing tyres. You did mention how the tyres in these minis actually do get worn out, because you do abuse them quite a lot to try and keep the momentum in these things. Yeah,
look, and I didn't do a lot of testing on this. I drove them a little bit, and mostly in the time trial, which the conditions were quite warm. I'm not sure what the conditions are here. We don't have that info, but if it was anything like time trial, the tyres were up to 100 degrees on the second lap, and that was pushing pretty hard, but it definitely told me that you'd need to be careful of that on certain conditions. So I imagine everybody's got a little element of being careful not to be spinning them up, because it's very easy to push too hard on those front tyres. So speaking on Smithy's charity, the Wayside Chapel, their mission is creating community with no us and them. They do this by breaking down the barriers of judgment and providing a safe place where people from all walks of life are welcome. So very, very nice sounding charity. Just being good people, it sounds like. Doing it for the good of their own heart.
Yeah, that's what we need, I think, in this world. A lot of more people without judgment, I think, and treat everyone just as everyone should be treated, and welcome in through most doors as well.
Tell you what, we've got Sheppo and Rusty, who are trying to make their comeback after that cheeky sabotage, and unusually, to be honest, seeing Rusty under so much pressure. Speaking of, Sheppo just giving him a little look up the inside there, but normal to see Rusty driving away from everybody. He's usually a man of incredible pace, but Sheppo absolutely piling on the pressure, has been for laps here. I'm not sure he actually even wants to get past here, because they've both got a lot of ground to make up, and it would make sense to work together at this point to try and close that gap. but he's definitely not giving him any breathing room. So, as they both brush the wall.
Yeah, they both tag. So, yeah, as you said, he's really just following. And if Rusty makes a bit of a mistake, we think Sheppo will be doing the same thing. And that was evidence right there as they came over the top of the mountain.
Absolutely. They got 45 seconds to get back up to lead this race if they were to do it. So it's a long way up the road. Speaking of, we'll just have a look in at TB9, who's just about to start on the main straight on another lap. So that's a huge gap back to those fellas who are just starting on that back straight now.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, if we do happen to see a GTL safety car, that'll really, shake things up and guarantee to see Sheppo and Rusty back in the mix, because you'd imagine if there's any safety car shortly, they'll all be needing to jump in for some fuel and take that opportunity. And would Sheppo and Rusty just try and stay out and stick to their normal strategy? Because looking at it, they probably won't get to the end, will they, if they did pit right now? It'll be pretty close. Talk about Pits Pixels found himself. And here's some evidence of a bit of damage, and I'm not too sure if that was part of a bumper we saw a few laps ago.
I think it might be.
Disintegrated.
Just trying to see if we could spot it there, but it looks like it's possibly disappeared from the track. But Ranger's car looking a little worse from where he's also currently in the middle of a bunch of minis who are trying to find their way around him with minimal contact. Speaking of, not a single safety car yet, which is awesome. That means absolutely great racing from everybody. You know, only mistakes have been hurting themselves, and as such, the field is now wildly spread out. And looking at the track map and trying to look at the numbers and figuring out who's where is now an absolute nightmare for us. No idea. The field is all around the track in various levels. So some Beetles some Fuscas being overlapped, some not yet. Even the minis very, very spread out between Pixel Boy and TB9 is a minute and a half, so more than half a lap currently.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Mark and Wagon have having a good little battle, and the same thing can be happen, I think, also with Viperon by looking at that map too. But here we go with Mark, and he's look at this. He goes Gambit on the Unicorn again. These two haven't been separated all race either.
He doesn't seem to be able to find a way past, though. Gambit absolutely keeping the Unicorn on his toes. But that's credit to the Unicorn for keeping it straight, because when you've got this sort of pressure lap after lap after lap, it's very easy to miss a braking marker, go a little bit deep and let him through. But he's been super consistent, and the Gambit can't make it happen.
No, he can't, and that's just a good thing with one make series cars that these JCWs provide. And I believe GTL have actually had a little series with these JCWs as well. And here we go with what's Rusty doing. Is he going to make this move? It really does look like he's happy just to follow Sheppo at the moment.
He's getting so close, but look, I think it wouldn't be in their interest to go for the move at the moment, even though I bet you the suspicion is there to make it happen. But they've still got a long way. They're making progress. I believe it was 46 seconds when we last dropped in on them, and now they're... Hang on. Was Sheppo always in front? I'm now second-guessing myself, because now Sheppo is in front, and I thought it was Rusty leading before. So he might have made the move.
Yeah, okay. No, I thought we might have seen... No, I think it was Sheppo. Well, Rusty was chasing him.
Rusty was in front.
Rusty was in front. Thanks, Alyssa.
I thought that was the case. So, Sheppo's actually made the move on him. Go, Sheppo. And now we've got Rusty, who's keeping Sheppo very... Meanwhile, they're making progress forwards. So, not hurting them too much. But I reckon these two guys, if they're listening in, they really should try and keep it honest to get a bit further forward, but I'm happy to see the racing. And yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of, we haven't actually called out Shepo in the Red Bull looking mini, actually racing for multiple charities. They've got the Black Dog Institute, which we see a few people running, and Shepo also for Soldier On, which is a sort of veteran focused charity, and Black Dog Institute, which we might have called out already, one of the awesome mental health charities there's a few of out there, and a couple of guys representing that one as well, which is a very awesome charity. But yeah, Shepo not being able to pick one, he's actually gone for two: the Black Dog Institute and Soldier On, and Red Bull apparently, which is a really cool looking livery.
Well, sure is. It's Red Bull synonymous around the motor racing world, and it's always welcomed at Bathurst, and we've got it here on GTL's 4th annual charity event, but doing it for Soldier On Shepo. An afternoon to Illicit and also Colonel Lloyd joining. Welcome, Lloydie. And who's this car coming down here, a bit beat it up as well, that we're looking at right now? Left.
Left also racing for Wayside Chapel, but looking a little worse for wear. He's got a mini behind him. Can't pick who that is at the moment. I think it might be Max Power.
Yeah, eyeing 22nd. I think you might have picked the right one there.
And Pixel Boy right behind him, who's looking up the inside, but I thought if he put it there, that could be dangerous, so he's held off for now.
And who was coming in the pits there? I think that's
Bales McKenzie.
Bales. So it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the car, so this is probably just schedule. Possibly enough to get to the end, maybe? Well, we've only been running for 30 minutes.
Possibly tyres.
Yeah. So it's a 90-minute race. We had the formation lap, so they haven't actually been really racing in anger for it's just under 30 minutes at the moment.
So we the TB9 after Travis had a spin was pretty clear in front, and No Frills has managed to get up to 7/10 behind, and I believe closing in. So No Frills pushing well and looking good for a challenge for the lead of this race in possibly a lap or two. Oh, I say that, TB9 quite wide on that exit. That's going to cost him all the way out this straight. I don't think No Frills will be making a move into the next turn, but he's going to be getting very close.
Yeah, he sure is, and he's got the slipstream, and he's been just slowly reducing that gap, which we haven't been keeping an eye on because there's been so much else been happening around the mid-pack. But yeah, these two now fighting for the lead of this race, and it looks like they haven't got some lap traffic for a little while, so probably for at least a lap. So we can see if No Frills can make the most of it now.
No Frills looking really comfortable in that car at the moment. They're very clean lines he's running, and just continually closing the gap ever so slightly. TB9 is going to be feeling this pressure, and I reckon by the end of this lap, we're going to have No Frills right on the back of him. And just he's running a little tighter line kind of everywhere. So looking very tidy, and definitely that is a good measure for the strength he's got in the car at the moment and the confidence he's got in it. In saying that, the gap's widened slightly here, possibly TB9 taking more risks over the top. That is the game at Bathurst. It is very much a game of risk versus reward, as all racing is, but particularly with the tight walls, the tricky corners. When you're in quali, you give it a full send. When you're in the race, you've got to be picking those moments. Bit of a slipstream. No Frills definitely close enough for a slipstream now. Look at that gap drop down this straight. Oh my lord, could be a great exit as well. But he's going to be right on it by the time we hit the brakes here.
Yeah, we got Rhetorical Gambit in the pits. He's been in there for a while. I might just bring him over into the chat if I can, and see what's going on there. Hey, Rhetorical, have you got a copy? Mr. Gambit, can you hear us? He might be on push to talk, so he might not be again. I'll bring him back into the main channel.
Yeah, look, we do run the risk. Not all the races are. Oh, No Frills. Has he got a move here? Is he going to get alongside? I think he might.
Yeah, if you can hang it around the outside, we know what that's going to lead to, having a good run up to the cut-in as they go around Griffin's brand side by side. Oh, and we've got the other Mini, the Castrol Mini, just, I think that's the Red Cross.
That's pretty unfortunate. I think they were just trying to get out of the way. Whose Red Cross was that? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I think well held by TB9 there. That's easy to push a little hard and cause No Frills to go wide, but very respectful from both of them. But No Frills got squeezed on the exit by a car that was trying to get out of the way, possibly a blue flag. They managed to get through, so they'll keep fighting, but that was a sketchy moment, I'm sure, for No Frills. Might be a bit of a code brown.
Yeah, definitely. And this battle for the lead is unbelievable with Gambit.
So that was Gambit who was getting out of the way. Looks like he's pitted for the damage that he was carrying earlier.
Yeah. And it looks like Rusty has got Shepo again.
He has, but there's still nothing in him.
Nothing in it at all.
Using all of the road and then some there. Rusty probably making that pass, wants to try and pull a gap, even right there, nearly on the dirt. That's very risky business. He's absolutely sending this right now.
Now, I tell you what, they're slowly catching, obviously, as we know, the other cars in front, but the drivers that I want to see at the moment is obviously Mark and Wagon. They're actually having a ding-dong battle, and they have been going all day long. As it looks like Wagon now is just pulling out to have a move down into the chase. Will he make it stick?
Yeah, I think he's got that done. He's gotten far enough in front that he can claim the road and get the braking zone to himself. Oh, running a little deep.
He's held on to it.
Mark.
Yeah,
Mark's got the run now into this last turn.
He sure does. And let's see that Mark's squirming around the brakes as well when he was coming into the chase. But oh no! Wagon's held onto it. He got the front, the throttle up early, and you see the front wheels smoke him up. And
that's
Wagon
really unfortunate.
holds on.
He managed to hang on to it, but yeah, he got the move done, and then just a little deep, trying to defend that line in the last turn. Managed to pull it up, but yeah, too hot, and then the car kicks out sideways. That's the risk with the minis, is on turning, if you're a bit hot, the car's just going to rotate around because you're going to be swinging it in, and they certainly grip up, which makes them awesome race cars, but a little bitey when it goes wrong, like is what happened there.
Yeah, we've got Vipper on just behind too, but here we go. These cars aren't too far away, so we just saw them go through Griffin's band, and now they're coming through here, and a move from Shepo takes Rusty.
That's absolutely beautiful. I tell you what, these guys having the race of their life. They're still closing the gap, but back and forth, right on each other the whole time. This is absolutely awesome racing for these guys. Coming off the back of starting on wet tyres. Oh man, that gap Rusty out of the wall. That's absolutely fantastic.
I'm not too sure here, but I think No Frills is doing a move here. I think he's got to move down the down the Conrod. He has. He's been able to take the lead. He had a good exit, I believe, out of Forest Elbow.
Deep on the brakes. Can he pull it up? Does he get in there? He does. I think he's secured that. That's a lovely move and well held in the braking zone. We did watch No Frills close that gap, suggesting he's got more pace in the car, so he should, if he can keep it together for these next couple of corners up the straight, he'll be away, I think, and he'll start to settle into that. TB9's job now is to try and link in behind him, try and start copying those lines, try and pull a bit of pace out of the car that he was possibly lacking before. It's always a lot easier to chase, so he's got a good chance here to lock onto the back of No Frills here and try and pull himself forward. That being said, they're 5 seconds clear of Skull Pain currently in the next car in third, so both of them in a very good position. That November car looks absolutely fantastic, by the way. Just calling that out to somebody, I think, said they made that livery earlier. Friendly Garlic, yes.
Yeah.
They've done very well. That is a very cool car.
Sure is. It's a great livery. A lot of good painters come out and got these liveries done for the charity, for all the charities that are running there tonight. And I'll tell you what, Sheppo, and here we go. We're looking at Esky now on a good battle with Cuckoo. So this is for second position in the hot cars.
Esky's going to give him a little bit of bump and run here. I think he had quite the run. He is absolutely on him. Esky, as we were saying earlier, running with no help from crew chief, no help from any sort of third-party application to tell him what fuel he's using. So I think
he's going to keep
Stu
going.
Can confirm, but I think these might actually make it without the stop. Is that what we're believing? Which means if that's true, Esky's got to do it with no guidance. He's got to do it based on his fuel gauge alone and know if he's using enough, which requires a hell of a mental fortitude to keep an eye on that and make sure you're not over pushing. But I tell you what, when he's on the back of Cuckoo like this, it certainly looks like he's not holding back.
No, exactly. That's what they're saying there from Stu, saying that he's actually using the HUD from the car in front. He's driving that close. He's peering over his shoulder just to see what the fuel level may be. Classic. Only in Australia.
He's trying to listen in. He's trying to hear Cuckoo's headset. That's why he needs to get so close,
Yeah, exactly. Great characters here at GTL. And we've now got Sheppo on the back of Smithy by the looks of things on that HUD. So here we go. It's already been done and it won't be too long, I don't think, till Rusty makes that move done as well. Gets it done.
So that means, Sheppo's actually walked away from Rusty there. So Sheppo's showing really good pace.
Yeah, it could just be, like as you said, like it just could be the tyres, depending on if they're just getting them too hot. May need a few laps just to cool them down and then attack again.
Look, absolutely. It also could be fuel management. If they've got to do pit stops, like I was saying earlier, it's not in either of their interests to be battling. So it could be that call. It could be that Sheppo's got outright pace on Rusty there. We don't really know. But the way it's standing currently, Sheppo's put a car in between him and Rusty, and so he's probably trying to get up the road a bit, I reckon. All the while, they're still very slowly lowering that gap to the front. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Skull Payne has caught the two drivers by, I thought he was about 6 seconds behind or 5 seconds behind. Now he's within 3 seconds of the lead, and probably, what have we got here, just a second behind the 9.
You're not wrong. He is absolutely flying up behind those cars. What's going on here?
And he's on his fastest lap of the race
incredible.
As well. For him, I'm not saying it's the fastest lap, but his fastest lap.
Found the turbo? What's going on? He's just caught and walked past TV9 like nothing's going on. Has TV9 lost throttle? What's going on? That's wild. That's an insane recovery.
It's not just losing throttle, he's actually still catching no frills as well. So either he's found some boost button or he's had something. I know we can't manipulate the game too much, but maybe some extra funds has got into this thing.
Well, I thought with that pace difference, maybe those guys are pulling to the pits, running out of fuel, but they're still going. So suddenly, Skull Payne is absolutely reeling him in. You're right. This is crazy.
Can I ask you, we've got an ear. We've got, obviously, Petey's got an ear into the race channel as well. Has people donated money for the leaders to put their fuel mix on lean? That's the only other thing I can think of.
I have heard it's been radio silence for a while. It actually made me wonder if it was still working, but I believe so. There's currently no chatter at all. Otherwise, I'd be feeding that straight back to you. But it's gone very quiet for a while.
Well, there's reports
Everyone's
coming
still
through
focused.
from Stu saying that the 9 is actually missing third gear. He's changed every time he's missing the third gear, so that could be an issue, especially when you probably need it coming up the hill here.
Yeah, okay. I didn't hear that. I might reset my race track.
So maybe, but it still doesn't explain why No Frills is also slowing. Like, he's actually catching No Frills as well, so he's definitely very fast over the top of the mountain now. He's found some extra confidence, that's for sure. Skull Paint.
Okay, I can confirm I have got race chat on. A little bit of tweaking, so it's a little louder for me, and I can hear him. But yeah, Skull Pain still closing this gap to No Frills. Rusty has found his way back to Sheppo.
Yeah, so as I said, like, I just don't know if that's just, you know, these drivers are so well drilled that it could be that they push so hard, they get the tyres up temperature, like over temperatured, then just need to back it off a little bit, let the tyres come back, and then they... Oh, hang on! This is going to be big!
Oh, no!
That's a big one. And that was Rangy, so Rangy has had a good time out there in the...
We've got a safety car.
Youth of the streets, and that has caught a safety car. So this is perfect timing for all these JCWs because they all... Oh, but No Frills has missed them. That call might cost these drivers because everyone else from 5th down in the JCWs might come into pit here. So we'll have a look to see if they do. Yes, in comes Wagon. Oh, Mark just gets in at the last minute. And look at Wagon. He hasn't even got a bonnet anymore. Oh, what's going on there? It's mayhem in pit lane.
In AMS2, you can clip through cars in the pits. So fortunately, no contact there, but it was very close. I can confirm we're going to have 2 laps under safety car here. So the leaders are going to have a chance to pit.
Yeah, but they're going to be...
should be holding a safety car pace. It's going to be a long way around.
Yeah, but when you think Mark might come out actually, if these drivers will pit, but Mark may have the lead of the race, or whoever comes out of the pits first, because they're going to be able to go full throttle to be able to catch back up to the queue here when these drivers then filter into the pit lane. So they should actually catch these drivers before they get into pit lane, possibly.
It is very possibly going to be the way. So we're going to have a change in lead, most likely, with these 7 cars.
Yeah, I think
haven't been able to pit this lap.
Wagon came out, but I don't know if he got damage repaired or not. But
yeah, we have 4 cars that missed the pit. One of which being, was there must be a beetle there? Must be a lap beetle. And Wagon is the lead mini. Whether or not he pitted, he did pit, right? We did see him drop in without the bonnet.
He definitely pitted, but Mark was really slow in too, so probably not thinking that the pit limit was 90 because he seemed to slow down a lot slower, and that's why we saw those cars ghosting through him. So maybe cost him some time. Mark was the first man in pit lane, but it looks like he's come out the last of the drivers that pitted.
This is
So Baron B is the leader of these hot cars, is that correct at this stage?
We've got a bit of drama. I think Rusty might have pitted and it's actually glitched and given the AI control of his car.
Oh, so he's going to have to call it back in. Hopefully he can call it back in and swap drivers again, but maybe bring up the standings and we might be able to go through. Max Power is there just... Oh, he's getting going again by the looks of things. But looks like this is all going to change as everyone goes into the pits here. But trying to pick up the hot cars, which we've got Esky Man currently leading that, or Cuckoo's... Looks like Barron's gone into the pits at this stage. There's Cuckoo, Esky Man, Baron B, Gun 180 in 4th position, Rangy Rover in 5th, Chewy in 6th, Mick of the Kid 7th, Norbs in 8th, Left 9th, and Bales in 10th position. So there are your hot cars positions. Cuckoo has taken that lead. Now Baron B's in 3rd position. So I don't know if the other drivers pitted, did they, Petey?
I don't believe so. So I'm not sure if Baron had the damage or if he needed to pit. There is a chance these other guys, I guess the calculations depending, might have to pit too, and maybe he's just called that early. Or unfortunately he's had to pit and the other guys won't. He's just lost those positions. So could be a bit of a disaster for Baron. We won't know until we see how it plays out. I believe Max's car was taken over by AI as well and not responding. He's managed to get back into the pits now.
Okay.
So that should hopefully get him sorted. Now Rusty's also doing the same. And I believe he'll get control of that car again after this pit stop.
And Wagon has taken the lead of this race. So that safety car came out the right time for him, and they're lucky they dived into the pit lane. He's got some weight reduction there.
Not sure it's great for drag, but a little bit less weight. I'm going to quickly grab some water while we've got a little downtime. I'll be back in a moment.
Definitely. Might try and see if I can drag Wagon in, have a quick chat to Wagon. Hey Wagon, have you got a copy? It's the boys in the broadcast booth.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's things going? You pitted at the right time there and got yourself in the lead of the race.
Yeah, not what I thought would be happening, but I'll take it.
Yeah, great job. And is your bonnet missing there on that JCW, or is it just a visual for us?
Yes, it is. I think I also partially caused the safety car. I thought I was being let by Rangy, and then I turned him, I believe.
Oh, look, you don't take ownership of that,
So,
but I'll let you get back into it because you're coming down to Conrod now, and I believe you're going to resume racing this lap. Is that correct?
I have no idea. I'm taking it as it comes.
Okay, well, I'll get you back into the race chat so you can find out what you need to do, but best of luck for the last 40 minutes or so.
Thank you. Enjoy the booth.
All right, so there you go. So we heard it from the driver himself that thinks that possibly he may have got involved in that moment of mayhem. But hey, he's now leading this race, and we're about to resume, I would assume.
Yeah, he wasn't filling me with confidence, Wagon, there. He sounded like a guy that just, well, I don't know how I got here, but I'm here. But hopefully he can, pull it together.
Yeah, definitely. So he is missing that bonnet, so we don't know if that's going to cause some issues for him later on in the race. Thanks, what's taken. Yeah, it was one of the things that we wanted to try and do, but I'm glad that he was open for the chat. We're hearing from the leader of the race, but here, let's see how he goes with the concentration for this restart. I don't think he's had too many of these restarts in the lead here, Petey, so it's all new territory for him, and Atonji's missing his bonnet, so it could be a ploy from these two.
It could very well be. I'd find it surprising, but maybe if it is giving them some pace, that'll be a blessing in disguise. There's some discussion going on. They were going to do some wave buys, but possibly not at this stage, but we still got cars around the track, so I'm not sure we're going live on this lap. I think we may be going one more.
Okay, and
yeah,
this
we
is
are.
where
we're going one more lap.
Beautiful, and wonder if we keep us updated if we hear of any charity talk being called out of what's going on. But look, at this stage, I am going to bring us the leader of the Fuskas into chat too. So we'll get Cuckoo on the line. Cuckoo, have you got a copy? You're in the broadcast.
Copy.
How's your race been going so far? It looks like you've been in front for quite a while after Baron B pitted just then.
Yeah, my plan just got thwarted because Eski's got no fuel gauge, so he was using me as his fuel gauge, and I just decided to pit. And then just as I was entering pit row, they called the safety car. So he's got a free pit stop, so it's just cancelled all that out. Now it's just a sprint to the finish.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how you go. So, but you are currently in the lead in the hot cars, and
Yep.
we'll see what Eski
Hanging
can
in there.
do. We were commenting about that. Stu did mention about that, saying that was talk that that's why you're so close to you, trying to look at your fuel gauge without having a HUD there. So keep up the good work for SPCA, and your livery looks fantastic.
Yeah, hopefully no one's got the heart to pass it.
No, well, we might have to start letting a few more donations come out to maybe give you a little boost. All the best.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Woody.
There you go. So that does confirm what was said there, Petey, that Eski was using him as basically a fuel. What can you say? As a guide for fuel. If he pitted, he was going to use that for his time to pit.
Yeah, and look, it sounds like that's worked well for Eski, because if they both pitted now, they're both going to make it to the end. Eski doesn't have to worry about fuel, so he's managed to get away with that one. It's a pure sprint to the end. That does spell very bad news for Baron B. Unfortunately, he's still in third. He can hang on to third here, but he had to pit as well. All three of those guys are pitted, so it's a race to the end, and it does mean he's lost that first position in the first, because that safety car, unfortunately, a disaster for Baron B. This is definitely going to be the restart lap, and we've still got quite a spread out field. They're going to have to slow it right up at the front. Hopefully we don't see any of those concertinas happening as they come down. Look at this gap backwards, though. We've still got a long way back. So the last car on the lap will be Gunner. We've got a few lapped cars in the middle there. And this will be the restart.
This is going to be great. I can't wait to see what happens here. And we've got 24 cars still circulating on track. Look at them funnel out of the chase. They just keep coming. And here we
Single file
go.
restart. It'll be controller Wagon. So Wagon chooses when to go. And he's gone straight away as they hit that straight, which is probably a great call. He shouldn't be under attack into turn one, which is what he's going to be hoping for. But back in the pack, I'm seeing some movement. We're going too wide, possibly. No, they've sorted themselves out.
Yeah, Mark will be gutted. He really should have the lead of this race, but unless he got some damage repaired at the same time, maybe engine or something. But now this is going, we're going to have to keep an eye on here too. So Cuckoo knows that Eski
So
behind
Cuckoo's
him.
actually behind Bales, who's lapped well, not lapped yet possibly, but about to be. So we've got two Fuskas in front of Cuckoo, who's leading the class, who he needs to sort of get past, and I believe they're going to be seeing a blue flag.
Yeah, they should be seeing a blue flag, but again, this is a charity race. You never know what they're going to do. But look, Cuckoo's made it, but look, it was so close for Eski, man, but he's made it now. And as you said, now Eski knows that he does not have to worry about fuel. As long as he's filled it up, he's probably just going to go for it. Eyes forward now. He's got no HUD due to the
we've had a
charity.
change for
Look at
lead, and
this.
look at this.
3 wide almost going through McPhillamy over Skyline. This is wild. Oh, they're 3 wide going into the dipper.
How have they done that without a collision? Well done, everyone. That was wild.
Hands out to kids in the Brain Foundation. Oh, and someone's having a look down the inside of Mark.
That was Chepo.
Sheppo. Now these guys have to be cool, because these drivers have been doing a great job in front. They're maybe not as fast, but Sheppo and Rusty have been going at it so hard that, yeah, it's sometimes hard to wind it back.
Who are we watching? I don't know who to watch.
Yeah, Tonji. I think we were, but now no frills. Oh, someone's coming out wide. It's Mark. Mark has gone straight through the chase here. Oh, was he able to pull it up? I'm not too sure. It's so hard to pick it up, guys, when it goes, because as they lose positions, you can't click on the driver. He goes away from you too quickly, but great work. Here he is. It looks like he's got no damage, so he's been able to keep it off the walls, but he came in flying through the chase.
That was like the flash into that corner. I'm amazed. We didn't have a collision there, but Flash Gordon appeared and then he was gone. But yeah, he did manage to pull it up and he's still going. So he's lost a few spots, but heart in your mouth. Oh, look at these guys. Still too wide. Who have we got there? It's not Skullpain. It's Sheppo.
No, Sheppo giving it a go on Kiz, but that's the beauty of having these smaller cars. There's plenty of room on this track around Bathurst. Normally sometimes it's just a two width sort of circuit, but with these ones they're making it 3 wide. Oh, a little touch.
Nose to tail. There's not much in it between all 5 of those cars in that chain there. Rusty with his AI bug. Sheppo flipping the wall. Rusty, unfortunately, with that AI taking control, it's actually costing him a lot. He's now down in 12th. He's not out of this by any means, but when he's had that battle with Sheppo the whole race, he's now about 5 seconds behind, unfortunately, Rusty.
Honestly, I don't think anyone's out of this race. The way that they're going up in front here, look at it, no frills and everyone up front. They're just unbelievable. He was trying to get the bloody 9 going down through the S's.
They're in not a DRS train, but they're definitely in a slipstream chain, a lot of these guys, because when they hit this straight, every single one of them getting that slip boost, except for the guy out in front, who currently is Wagon and No Frills making it on TB9 on this straight again.
Now you think Wagon, oh look at Tonji having a go at Viperin, and Viperin, credit to him, he's still out in front. He's done a great job on that restart for Beyond Blue. Most of us would be used to seeing that red and white swirly livery on a Lamborghini during the 12 hour.
Stu, not wrong that the safety car perfectly timed for the fuel stop, so it's really taken any fuel strategy out of it now, and we just got an amazing sprint to the finish. Looks like TB9 got No Frills back, and No Frills looking up the inside possibly. Oh no, TB9 Wagon. I think they had that issue where you get a little bit of a connection and then the car doesn't want to turn. Unfortunate for both of them there.
Yeah, I think they actually went pretty deep, to be honest. I don't think that was that. It looked like Wagon just, he was understeering through there. He's a little bit hot, trying to defend.
Too much pressure.
Look at these, four of them too wide going through Griffin's Bend.
Oh man, Tonji up the inside of up here and he's got it done.
Now that bonnet is definitely not slowing him down, and the lack of the bonnet, and I thought that might have hurt them down top end speed, but obviously he got that pace up the mountain straight and through Griffin's Bend, and look at him go. He's got remnants of that damage with a cracked windscreen as well. Now can Kiz hold off Skullpain in the Movember car?
Yeah, Skullpain's looking deadly.
He sure is, and I think he's at this stage, and he got some pace later on his little stint, so at this stage now I think he's just trying to settle in, and you can't settle in when you've got someone right behind you like this, can you, Pete? Oh, and he's having a good look. Awesome driving by both of these drivers. They gave it everything then, and they're still rotating.
That's a very, very fair send. A risky one, but like the gap was there, and yeah, unfortunately it didn't work out with Skullpain there, but they both made it through. You've got to be on the real Bathurst track, there's actually a little bit of the wall that juts out there that'll cause you a massive problem. Unfortunately, not in this sim at the moment. So they both squeezed through and everything was fine. And Sculpane's actually dropped after that bad exit. Travis has got him. So now Travis is going to be on the back of Kiz.
Yeah, Travis, but he's also got to try and
wide in the
defend.
back there.
We've still got Sculpane having a good look, and it looks like he's got him done. I think, depending on the exit here, Travis has got a better run, having the preferred line. So, and just behind now, Skull Smithy. This is where Smithy starts coming on strong late in the race when he gets a sniff of a good position, and he just finds that
This
extra.
might be a good time to pull Esky into the chat. As he's right on the back of Cuckoo.
Actually, let's do that. Petey, you said that, and I'm doing it. If anything
Absolutely.
happens, it's you got to explain yourself.
I believe it was part of the donation, to be honest.
Well, that's what we all thought. Hey, Mr. Esky, how are you going there? Got any sweat on your forehead?
Yeah, guys, how are ya?
We thought we'll just
He's going far
drag
too
you into the commentary, because it looks like you're doing it pretty easy out there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Just 1 second.
No,
He's
you don't
going
have
to change gears with this corner.
You don't have a second because this is charity.
Sorry, my push to talk's on my gear changing hand.
Oh, well, we've got to give you a bit more of a challenge now after you were using Cuckoo as your HUD earlier on, being so close to him. You could see his fuel gauge.
Yeah, that's it. I filled up in that stop and got some fresh tires, so I reckon I'm good to go.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll let you get back to it, mate, and keep it up. God, the viewers are absolutely loving your battle, so keep going. You're doing a good job.
Good luck, Esky.
Thank you very much, guys.
I don't know if we've affected him there, but he has dropped off the back of Cuckoo a little bit. So Cuckoo, you're welcome.
I think that was pretty cool when he said that he's just hang on a minute, and it was because his push to talk was on his gear lever change. So there you go.
Yeah. These cars, they're a real handful, absolutely. I must admit, when I was doing the time trial, I went back to the paddle shift because trying to do the H pattern with this thing and it starts walking around on you, it's a hell of a workload. So good on Esky there for not only doing that, but also talking to us in between. What a legend.
Oh, he was absolutely brilliant, to be honest.
In the meanwhile, no frills. Closed up on Atonji. We've also got Sheppo. They're going 3 wide up the main straight, and I think Atonji's gonna lose out on this one because actually I don't know what's going to happen here.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't call this one. Looks like Sheppo's going to try and be the late break around the outside, but nah, thought better of it.
Oh, little bump maybe. Oh, look at him. Absolutely nose to tail. This is wild.
How's this for a charity event here? These drive. We've got
frills
no frills around, and he's got to be on the brakes. Oh, well done. He's just been able to hold off.
Oh, he doesn't.
No, he's going to have to hold. He's going to wait. This is going to be for eternity for him.
Oh,
Anyway.
that's devastating.
He should be able to get going now.
Now he's got to go.
But the thing is, being front wheel drive, he doesn't know. Oh, he's done the reset. He took the safer option.
I tell you what, that's really shaking things up. No frills was looking great up the front there. That's devastating. Now Sheppo, who's been showing great pace, is locking in on Atonji. Don't forget, this is after Sheppo started on wet tyres. So amazing drive from Sheppo so far. Can he get it done and actually pull off the move to take the lead of the race? That'll be quite the story. We've got 22 minutes left. It's plenty of time left. He's got plenty of pace in him. Atonji's going to be feeling the heat very soon.
Yeah, he definitely is. But this is the true Sheppo right here, and what a sponsor, Soldier On, and that's exactly what he's done. You just said, Petey, he started on wet tyres due to the charity funding with a big donation. Here we go. So Tonji is in So maybe he didn't get enough fuel when he did his pit stop during that safety car, but that's given now Sheppo the lead of the race, and Skull Payne has found himself in second position.
I tell you what, that's yeah, I wonder if miscalculation or maybe damage from Atonji. That's a real shame. He was looking great, and now, yeah, Sheppo very comfortably in the lead. I reckon he's been looking like the quickest car on the track, along with Rusty at times. So Rusty 10 seconds behind. That's quite a gap for 20 minutes. Not impossible, definitely not at Rusty, but based on their earlier battle, I think Rusty's had a real disaster with that AI moment, and he might not be able to close that gap up. So Skullpane, all the work to do to try and put the pressure on Sheppo here.
Look behind for third position.
Meanwhile,
too.
also Eski's disappeared off the back of Cuckoo, so he's actually had a bit of a struggle. I don't know if we really put the fear of God in him, and
The mocker on him.
he couldn't drive anymore. But he's ended up 5 seconds behind, so Cuckoo's absolutely cruising. Speaking of a battle, we just had Viperion straight in the wall. All kids putting the pressure on him.
Yeah, this is awesome racing. This is for a third position, the final spot on the podium. 20 minutes remaining. The GTL safety car is still active until the last 5 minutes remaining of the race. So the safety car is definitely not out of the equation. The way these boys have been driving, they've been pretty safe. But you know, we're getting near the back end of this race now, and they're really pushing hard. Fatigue's setting in as well.
I think very quickly before this battle gets any more crazy, we've actually missed out. We had the Stu disconnected earlier, and Max Power's actually disappeared, I think, from the AI issue he had. So just a shout out to the Heart Kids and the Dunedin NICU, which were their charities, which I don't think we've actually called out at this point, and unfortunately they're no longer in the race. So before they lost the ages as victims of the Bathurst mountain, just calling out the Heart Kids and Dunedin NICU, two very good charities that both Max and Stu were supporting.
Yeah, it's up on your screen now at the moment. So if you want to donate to those guys, you can search them up, the Heart Kids for New Zealand. And yeah, make sure in any comments that you do for any donations tonight if you're viewing, try and put in the comments in that donation that it was due to, or was from the GTL Bathurst charity race. And that way there, if they start getting a few things in those charities, they may send a thank you to GTL. Back here for this battle for the final position on the podium. Kids down the inside now into Griffins, and we're right on board. Awesome time to get on board here. As you can see this climb now, look how steep it is. As we're not too sure if Viperon might be down in. No, he's not down the inside, so Kids has been able to get that done. Look at the climb up through the cutting.
You can hear the front wheel drive struggling with traction out of those exits. As they try and get on the power with a bit of steering lock on, they just absolutely chew up those front tyres. A hell of a workout. And look at the pace difference between the Mini and the Fusca in front of us. That car is gearing rapidly, which I think is Bales McKenzie, who's actually clipped the wall. Is he going to pull it up?
Oh no!
Oh, we've got through there without an issue. Bales backwards. I think that's where he ended that accident earlier. So Bales, unfortunately, lightning striking twice for him there, and he's parked in an awkward spot.
That wheel is trashed as well, the front wheel.
I think he just forgot he had the
He's going to
steering
reverse down
block.
the hill.
Hello. Mini getting wild as he's going reverse. Yeah, probably a smart move. Get out of the way. Get out of danger and then turn it around.
Yeah, nice move. Doesn't go over the fence. Like we saw in the 12 hour, one of the drivers nearly going over there. Now back in front here, Rusty, or not in the front, Rusty trying to chase back up to the front now. He's lost out a little bit, as he said he was 10 seconds off the lead from Sheppo. Now it's going out to 13 seconds as he's trying to battle.
I
And
tell you what,
he's got battle scars as well.
Smithy's gone deep there, and actually Skullpane has closed the gap on Sheppo, so Skullpane is putting the pressure on. Maybe a bit of traffic involved as well, and he's actually gone deep there. He's had to pull it up, had to jump on the anchors, go inside a little because he was possibly going for a collision there. But He's very close and definitely in with a chance to challenge Chepo here. Scott Payne hasn't been looking slow. Maybe that little bit of motivation now. He's on for a good second, but he could have the win of this race if he plays his cards right and gets the pace in him. Smithy, who went wide before, so Rusty's actually gotten through possibly on Mark and Smithy now. Up into sixth with a bit of clear air, but he's, like you say, he's dropped 2 seconds behind those lead 2 cars as from where he was before. It's a long way to go and a few cars to get through. So I don't think Rusty's on for a win here. There's a possibility for a third, would be the best he could hope for. And certainly we've seen Rusty pull off some amazing races before, so it's not out of the question.
No, we won't call it too early. As I said, there's still plenty of racing to happen and that possibility of a safety car. But who's car 18 too in the hot cars? That blue and white. Oh, that's Gunn. We haven't seen too much of him, but obviously Gunn currently 4th in class, so he's 1 off the podium. And he's obviously doing it for the Cancer Council. So whack on that sunscreen and make sure you look after yourself. And I can vouch for that, as I was lucky enough to get an early melanoma only about a month ago. So yeah, it's a wake-up call. Yeah, so always make sure you get those skin checks done as well.
It's a silent killer of many Australians and something that's sort of built into the culture, but I think is slowly changing the trend, and the Cancer Council is absolutely
great delivery. Yeah, I sure did, and that's what I was going to say, but Stu just beat me to it in the comments, and this is my first charity race I did with GTL. I did with the Cancer Council as well, so good to see Gunn representing that as well. But here we are, back up front. This is going to be interesting, Petey. I can't wait to see how this unfolds in the next 15 minutes. This is amazing.
Has Chepo got anything up his sleeve? Is he saving some tyres here, or is he just feeling the pressure and Scott Payne is absolutely bringing it to him? I can't answer that question, but I do know that they're very close, and if Chepo had the option of not being this close, I reckon he'd be taking it. So I think we're on for a battle here. A little bit further back, we're still getting pretty close. We've got Mark, Viperion, and I think Rusty's actually just gotten Viperion, so he's through now into 5th. Look at that train too, a bit of traffic. And then he's all piling in, so Rusty's got his sights set on Travis now, and he's actually closing at a rapid pace too.
Look at this multi-class racing. This is fantastic.
Just heard Pixel Boy asking somebody to hold somebody up, I think, in traffic. Cheekily, of course. Nobody would ever do that on purpose. But.
No, not at all. Maybe we need to get someone on the radio. Maybe get Pixel on the radio. Ask him what it's all about.
Who's he trying to get to hold up who? For sure.
Yeah, well, we'll get it from the horse's mouth. What do we reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Pixel, welcome to the broadcast booth. Keep your language nice and clean. And we've just heard in the background something about someone holding someone up. Can you please elaborate?
I was just trying to get left to hold up No Frills. No Frills had a spin in the cutting and dropped down the order, and now he's trying to work his way back up. So I'm just trying to slow his progress, but I don't think I had much luck.
Oh, mate, you've got a wide mini there, mate. I'm sure you'll be right. Your front bonnet's bouncing around there too, mate. So
is it? Yeah.
Maybe try and unleash it and throw it back at him at No Frills. That might scare him. Put him in the wall.
Yeah, like the ejector button or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Ejector bonnet. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, mate. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for having a chat with us.
Okay, mate. How's the call going? It's a good race. It's a fun race.
Awesome.
Oops.
There you go. Pixel wanting to try and slow down No Frills. Oh, look at this. This is crazy.
So Rusty didn't get through on Travis. He's having a good look still, and they're all fighting through this multi-class traffic, so it's edgy of seat stuff for these guys. I tell you what, trying to pick where you're passing and making sure you don't cause anyone to be held up or get held up yourself.
As you said, look at this speed difference. Here he goes on the Cuckoo.
Get to the straightaway.
Oh, who's that? Up the middle.
Rusty. That's
Rusty.
Rusty. He's seen the moment. They both got compromised. Cuckoo was giving up the position to Travis, but Travis went tight in to not run into Cuckoo. Rusty's seen that and absolutely launched out of that corner. Is he going to have enough to keep it, or is he even giving up the spot? He's not giving it up, I don't think. Travis gone real deep for an hang on, and Rusty's
into
gone
the
through.
grey. I think your voice keeps getting a little bit lower and lower there. I think, Petey, you're speaking all day today and might be starting to lower it a little bit. But if you try and get that mic closer to your mouth, it might bring it in a bit better.
I don't think I'm getting lower, but maybe. Sounds okay on my end, but yeah, I have been speaking for many hours today, so possibly I'll get a lot closer. Hey, how's that?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Sometimes it just seems to just drop out just a little bit there. Probably just where we are with the cars too. The cars are fairly loud. Great camera work that we've been getting from Petey too. So yeah, let's all show appreciation to the hard work from Petey. He's also trying to commentate at the same time, doing an amazing job.
Thanks, Woody. No, this is the Woody show. It's not the Petey show. I'm just here to help. But yeah, it's been awesome racing. It hasn't been too hard to pick the cameras, to be honest, because there's action everywhere. You can't really get it wrong. Having the ears on the inside's pretty good. I've been cheekily hearing the call-outs when people are spinning and having issues. So yeah, getting a helping hand from the guys actually calling it in the race chat too, which we don't stream for various reasons, but it's been very helpful for this.
Now, I was thinking with the Tonji when we saw him come into the pits earlier for that pit stop, and you said it could be for damage. I'm thinking that having that bonnet not there, maybe he did end up getting some engine damage, and that could have been the reason why he pitted. So, yeah, look, having that front end damage.
He did actually call out it wasn't entirely for damage, the reason he went into the pits, but unfortunately his pit strategy was to repair all the damage, and that's why he's gone so far back. So he's had a full repair of all damage, and hence why his car's looking absolutely squeaky clean, but it has cost him a lot of time. You wouldn't normally do that on purpose. You repair damage as required for some damage, and we've got left, I believe, sitting at the exit of that corner, possibly had a spin on the way out.
Yeah, he's getting it back going again. Doesn't look like he had too much. Oh, the back panel there's moving around a little bit. And Gunn now got Baron B just in front of him. This is a nice battle. We've got the boobs and we got the, you want to make sure you get some sunscreen lotion in front of Baron B's car there.
We've got an angry Mini right behind him looking for a way through too.
Beep, beep.
It could be the Gambit, I think it is. Yeah, so he's gotten through there. Gunner looking around.
Oh, there's a yellow here. There's a car 16. He's just moving. I think Cuckoo. So Cuckoo's had a spin. And
no.
But he's still leading. Is it Baron B? No, Esky Man's taken the lead.
Esky's gone through by a long way. So Cuckoo's had a big moment there. Possibly at turn 2 and ended up backwards and had to wait for a gap. So he's dropped a long way from Esky. That also means that Gunner and Baron now fighting with second and third, respectively. Not respectively, reverse of that. But Baron's still in a good position for a podium here.
Well, he sure did. And if you missed the start of the coverage, he actually got the vote to be able to go out. He skips everyone. He had, what was it, a 40-second lead before the leaders took off at the start of the race. And they've slowly caught up to him again in the hot cars. And I think it took about 4 laps for the JCWs to finally reel him in at the start. But here goes Gunner for second. And behind, we've got the first aid car spinning
of
Mika. So Mika is now in 7th position. I don't know if he was actually up a bit higher than that, but he's got going again.
I think just Rangy slipped through on him, so he's lost 1 position from that spin. Baron and Gunner still really close. I'd say based on the previous pace that Gunner's going to try and pull a gap here, and Baron's probably not going to have a lot to return. If you can hang on to the back of him though, it'll keep him away from Cuckoo. That's what he really needs to make sure if he can't pass Gunner, he can at least hang on to the back of him, because Cuckoo on a charge after that spin, I'm very sure to get back on the podium. All of Barron's podium hopes hanging on Cuckoo, not hawking in here and making that move on him.
Yeah, definitely. So I think this is going to be interesting right to the end here. We'll see if Cuckoo can regather a podium at least. But Barrenby's going to be hard to get past, I think, because everyone was been rooting for him to get onto the podium. He got the leg up at the start of the race, so he's going to make sure that he can try and repay that favour from everyone giving him that pole position and see if he can get that podium result. But here we go with No Frills chasing the bloody 9 just in front of him. Just hovering on the 10.
No Frills will be getting sick of seeing the back of the bloody 9. I feel like he's made this move about 5 or 6 times in this race, but he's ended up back here again from a spin he had when he was up there fighting for the top 3 with Shepo and I think it was a Tonji at that point.
Yeah, it was. Tonji was there. It's been wild, so they've been up and down like a seesaw, and here he goes again, clears out here before the chase.
Oh, over the curb, little skittish, but I reckon he'll get it pulled up there, and that's probably the move done. A little deep, but the gap he's got there will mean he's not going to be challenged by the bloody 9 on this final turn, I don't imagine. Plenty of distance there, so No Frills head down, got a move done on the bloody 9. Fighting on. Viperion possibly dropped to Mark, and you've got Travis, Mark and Viperion in that really close battle here. I haven't been following to see who's actually got who there, but he's looking real close to the back of Mark at the moment in the testicular cancer mini.
Yeah, and he's having a good move up here in the Griffins, and there's less than 5 minutes now remaining, and this is where there's no more safety cars to the end of this race, so everyone's going to have to do their own bit here and not get the help from the safety car now. That was a nice move by Viper.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Got it done very clean. Travis a little far ahead at the moment, and his Viper's going to be able to make sure that Mark doesn't get a move back on him, but there's not a lot of positions to overtake over the top of the mountain, so he's got a bit of a chance if he's got the pace in him as they both walk into the wall. Oh man, follow the leader. It's Mark right behind him, and they both collected the wall, but they're still going, so I guess not too much damage there.
No, but there's obviously a nice battle. Obviously, Rusty's almost on for a podium here, but also for the lead of the race, there's nothing in it as they're coming down into the chase once again. So there should be 2 more laps remaining of this race. I don't think there's any +1 laps in this. I think it's just 90 minutes. As here we go. Who's your bet on here? Everyone, all the viewers, start letting us know. Shepo, Skull Pain, or will they take each other out, and will Kiz or Rusty come home for the victory? We don't know. Anything can happen.
Yeah, look, Skullpane's been really close to Shepo for many, many laps here. The traffic's in a bad spot for both of them. They made it through, but yeah, Skullpane's been really close, but there's that's always the hardest part is making the move and then making it stick. So he's definitely keeping it tight, and they've both walked away from the rest of the pack. I mean, Rusty, I know at one point was 10 seconds, and now he's 17 seconds off, and he's been moving forwards. So both these guys, incredible pace for the last 10 to 15 laps. And Rusty, has had some accidents because his car was not looking like that last time we saw it. He's going for the weight reduction. Is it going to work for him, and can he get the move done?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, definitely. It's like we need one eye on both the action. We need a split screen, but we just can't do that in the game. You just don't know if that's going to affect his overall top end speed with all that bonnet off or not. When you start getting that spoiler damage, it usually does slow you down, but he'll be also in the draft though, in the toe of Kiz.
Yeah, likely a bit of downforce loss from that front bumper hanging loose too. Shepo's got, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but we got one more lap after this one. So he's close enough, both him and Skullpain. They're within touching distance, but there's a big difference between touching distance and actually having that pace difference to make a move. Although I say that Rusty's getting real close.
Sure what's happening down the chase here. He's got a little bit of a draft Skullpain as well, but I think they're getting through the chase here. Might try and see if he can do something at Murray's. If he can get a good exit out of here. Seeing as they're just so even, there's not much more that they can try and eke out of these cars. It's more about trying to make the car in front make a mistake. They're almost at the limit each corner, aren't they, Pete, at this stage as well?
I don't reckon either of these guys have got much left in the bag. They're really just pushing as hard as they can, and like you say, hoping for a slip up from the other party. In this position, Shepo is doing all the work. He's picking all those braking markers. His goal's just braking the same or a little bit later. They're both fighting through a bit of traffic, but coming in the braking zone there. Skull's got a bit deep. He's managed to pull it up. Oh lordy, that was very close. Easy to make that mistake, and he had to jam the brakes an extra bit hard to make sure he didn't hit Shepo, which is now cost him coming up the straight here. Very, very close moment there, but they both made it through.
He's getting past Cuckoo, but yeah, he was so lucky he didn't actually lock up, as you said, Petey. Like, that's just being able to manage that brake pedal, braking so hard and not pinching it. Done an amazing job there.
I think there was a tiny lock up there. I think he had a tiny lock up, but he managed to get back off it and pull it up. So it was, yeah, very well done under brakes, and a bit of a scary moment because right in where he wanted to brake, he had to move off the line for the traffic, and that's what caused that moment, but very well handled by both of them. It has meant he's now nearly a second behind, and being that this is probably the last lap, it's unlikely he's going to close that gap now. So Shepo's looking good for it.
Yeah.
Do we see battles? I definitely see a group of them here, not fighting for the podium, but no frills behind Sniffy. So he's managed to gap the TB9 behind, and I tell you what, there's all three of them here. What's going on?
He's still having a look though. Watch this, no frills. Oh.
Speaking of, we've got Rusty looking like he's possibly in with a chance at the end of this straight. He's managed to get it down to 3 or 4 tenths. He is possibly losing speed on that straight. I wonder if he's had a bad exit or it is the damage, because
you have to pick up Shepo as he's just about to hit the last corner now. So here we go, and there's our winner for the 2025 Bathurst GTL charity event, and well done to Shepo. Good job. And then second, Skullpain. What a tremendous job that was for Movember. Everyone should start growing a Mo. And Kiz, is he going to hold on? Oh, it's going to be a drag to the line. And it looks like it's Kiz just comes home in third position. Awesome racing. And a car's in the pit lane.
Oh, I missed that one.
And Mark holds on to 6th position. That's a good result from Mark after visiting that the chase at greater knots. And the bloody 9 comes home in 7th position and does that for youth on the streets. So well done to him. And something's going to push.
Out of fuel, I think, yeah. It looked like he wasn't crossing that with any sort of power.
So did he get a push by Smithy then just over the line? I think he did. So good sportsmanship there, shown by Smithy. And here comes the leader, I believe, of the hot car, is Esky Man. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct. I think a few the Fuscas have crossed the line, but being lapped cars. Esky's ended up with a huge gap to Gunner here. I guess managing his pace well, and he had that lucky spin from Cuckoo, but he's driven a hell of a race since then to pull that sort of a gap.
And with no HUD, remember that the charity was that there were some donations thrown in to the GTL stewards to to rip out all the HUD out of his car, so he couldn't use all the available, sim hubs and crew chief, and I think he had the bare bones of the game HUD, and that was it. I think that was even told to be turned off, so he's done extremely well, and well done to Esky Man. Takes it home for Hutton Street Centre for the hot car division.
Yeah, I think actually he was the last one on that lead lap there possibly, but that's why the gap was so huge to the next Fusca, so it probably wasn't as huge until the rest of them crossed the line and got held up by the race end. But yeah, well done Esky, well done Gunnar, and well done Barron, who has held on for a third place according to the scoreboard I'm looking at. So Barron has got a podium in the Fusca.
He sure did. So we'll quickly go through those hot cars. As we said, Esky Man, a full lap in front because he was able to hold on 2 laps off the actual eventual race leader, but he came home in front of Gunnar. Outstanding race by Gunnar, holding 4th, 5th most of the race, but found himself promoted up there after a few of the drivers came undone. Baron B, as you said, held on to that 3rd position, so he's repaid all the GTL faithful and came home on the podium. So well done to Baron B. That's something to celebrate for the breast cancer car. Cuckoo for SPCA came home in 4th position, and Black Dog Institute represented really well in this GTL charity event for Norbs in 5th position. Then we had Rangy Rover coming home in 6th. Mika the Kid for St John's Ambulance in 7th position. Truey for the bowel cancer left for Wayside Chapel. Itonji unfortunately had his strategy all around the wrong way and finished home in 14th for Autism Australia. Beyond Blue for Bales Mackenzie, and Max Power in 15th position. Then the Unicorn and Stu unfortunately disconnected early in lap 1. But for the main part of the race, we have Sheppo. Do you want to go through it, Petey?
Sure. Yeah, look, Sheppo ran an amazing race after having a start on wet tyres and an early pit stop on lap 1. Fought his way through the field, and a hell of a fight it was. Managed to take it home in 1st. And shout out to Skullpain, who kept him honest at the end with a 8/10 deficit across the line. And then also we had, it's actually disappeared on me. It was Rusty on... My mind's failed me. It was there a moment ago. Rusty on somebody for the 3rd place, and they came down to about, I think it was 300 or 400 across the line. It was very close, so really tight race right until the end. Yeah,
it was an awesome job as well. So there we go. Should we get any of the interviews for anyone, or we think that they've had a long night, or should we at least get
Look, there's a lot of them still in the chat, and I'm hearing a lot of chatter. I can't focus on it, but I reckon we could pull 1 or 2 in.
All right, I think we need to get Sheppo in.
Absolutely.
Hey, sorry for interrupting you, Sheppo, but welcome. You're in the commentary booth. Congratulations on that win. You got myself and Petey.
Hello, fellas. How we doing?
Very good. Congratulations on that victory. That was a very entertaining race.
Yeah, it was. It's great fun. The battle with Rusty was just unbelievable.
Absolutely, Sheppo. Back and forth you guys were, and it was bumper to bumper. How was the pressure?
Full on.
And tell us a little bit more about having those tyres Loctited with wet tyres at the start of the race after Parc Fermé qualifying. What did you think about that?
I knew it was coming, and I loved it actually. I loved the concept of whoever did that. That was amazing. I just I made them as cold as I possibly could, and they lasted a lap.
Yeah, I was going to be very surprised if you got more than a lap out of them, to be honest, based on that many being reasonably hot on tyres anyway. And look, yeah, Stu hasn't given even us the heads up on who did what to who. All we know is that it was done.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I thought all the all the stuff that people did to donate and all that sort of stuff was just awesome. That there's a fair bit of money thrown around, which was great for good causes. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, most definitely. But go and celebrate there. That was a great run. You kept us entertained right through the race from that chase after you got those slicks back on. with you and Rusty. It was sensational. Seeing you glance in the wall, following one another. It was tremendous. Well done.
Cheers, fellas. Cheers. Yeah, it's so hard to follow on this track, especially down the dipper and that. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, good
Time
work.
for a beer.
Definitely. Go and do it.
Absolutely.
All
Hey.
for charity. Good stuff.
100%. Thanks, fellas. Have a good one.
Cheers, Shepo. Well done.
Awesome. And who we need to get the
Should we
winner.
get Esky back in
Yeah.
as the winner of the Puskets?
Here we go. Welcome in, Mr. Esky.
G'day, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a mega race. It heaps of fun.
So we couldn't
You
even.
did well to hold it together.
I was going to say we couldn't even get you frazzled when we brought you in earlier when you were trying to change gears and speak at the same time, and you lost a little bit of ground there, but you brought it back, and you got lucky with Cuckoo having a spin.
Yeah. So someone stole all my telemetry, so I was just kind of driving around, didn't have anything to look at other than Cuckoo, so that was good. And I got into a bit of a spin down Conrod. I don't know whether you guys saw it when I hit Rangy, but it was catching back up to Cuckoo. It's a shame he had a spin because it was going to be a good battle at the end there.
Most definitely. But you held on really well, and Petey, I think he was the one that wanted us to bring you in there at that heat of the battle, and I'm glad that you held it together and made it into the end and took out a very well-deserved victory.
Way to throw me under the bus. I believe that was Stu's idea, but anyway, yep. Maybe
Always
I
a pleasure
have
to talk to you guys. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, same to you, Esky.
All right, well, that pretty much wraps things up, I think. So your highlights are there. I think there was too many to even try and go back and think, but 3 wide, going down through the towards the dipper for me over Skyline was something later in the race.
Sorry, I think I accidentally got moved to chats, but I'm back. Yeah, lots of awesome moments in that one. I couldn't pick one right now, but yeah, you're right. That was a pretty awesome one, 3 wide down the straight. Plenty of 2 wide moments, plenty of action throughout the field at all positions. I really enjoyed that fight at the end with the podium places too. Rusty absolutely coming so close to getting it. Skullpain keeping the pressure on Shepo. A few moments where he nearly had to pull out of it for fear of a collision. So well raced by both those guys, and throughout the field, pretty awesome racing. And was it 2 safety cars in the end? Not a lot of safety cars. It would be a call as well, and well raced by everybody, particularly early race. So.
Yeah, definitely. It was so good. And make sure if you want to help donate and to finish off the charity event, have a look at there on that screen there. All the wonderful charities that were being donated by all the amazing drivers here at GTL. So pick a charity there, send a little bit of money, and get the word out there for what the great things that have happened here tonight with GTL for their 4th annual charity event. It's been an absolute great race. It's been our pleasure to bring that to you guys. And Petey, thanks for all your efforts, mate. That's been absolutely brilliant. Brought it to another level. Thank you so much.
All good. Thank you, Woody. Absolute pleasure. We'd do it again anytime. Thanks everyone for watching.
All right. Until next time, see you guys.